Ignition. We have liftoff.
Today you have been in the headlines issuing a statement in response to a short report which does claim your partnerships aren't true and also faking AIR growth. So there's some lengthy allegations, but you have responded to that. I just wanted to give you the opportunity to go through what you said about that short call.
Yeah, well, that was really just nothing more than a hit piece by short sellers trying to spook investors so they can profit from their own bets. You know, this kind of thing happens, unfortunately.
We are under attack by a fuzzy panda. This is the weirdest thing I've ever come across. Fuzzy Panda and its affiliates. They are a short selling firm, and they have put out a hit piece on Dan, his legacy, his past companies, the customers. I'm surprised that they didn't attack his poor mother. This is their website. This is their website, and they have a piece on here. We're going to get into it here in a minute, and it's unfortunate. It's so unfortunate. We had Rule 201 in effect all day today. We had the perfect setup, and Fuzzy Panda had to do something because they knew earnings were right around the corner and that Dan was quite possibly going to deliver. And they had to make their money. There was nothing they can do except for get people to sell. So what they do, they put out an absolute hit job on them. They were handcuffed. They had no choices. They had to do this because this is their last chance, I believe. Shareholders were hitting the sell button and heading for the exits today. It was brutal, folks, and it was such a shame because we were up 6:30 pre-market, and all of a sudden I look down and we're at 550, and I'm like, what is going on here? Now, once it got to 550, I took another look, and it got up to 570, and I had to make a purchase there because I thought we had hit the bottom here at 550. This short report came out, but I didn't realize it had come out. I just thought it was just an aggressive, volatile day. And then I looked back a few minutes later. This thing is down to $5, and I had missed it because I didn't get to it I didn't see it until it got into the 530s. And once again, I had to make another purchase in the 530s. And I thought we were going to trend up higher. We had a chance, and then it just fizzled out. Looking at their hours, we're up 543. Okay, we're making a comeback here. But it was an absolute job today. I couldn't believe it. Now, Fuzzy Panda is a short-selling firm. They stand to make significant gains if their stories are effective. They state that their stories may not be accurate. I'll show you this in the fine print here in a minute. Now, I'll show you that, what do? They use psychological warfare to generate fear, and it worked. Shareholders today were headed for the exits. And I can't blame you if you sold your shares. I can't because it was hard. It was a hard day, and it's even hard to purchase stock on days like this. Two times a day I purchase stock, and you wonder if you're just putting your money in a black hole. You wonder if you're ever going to get it back, and if you do, how long is it going to take? Is it going to take a year? Is it going to take 2 years? So it was a really tough day for Rezolve AI shareholders. But the sell-off before earnings may be bullish in some manner. If Dan can blow it out for earnings, he has to deliver for us. And if he can, we have to be trending upward. We got to get out of these days where we're down 10% every day. Fuzzy Panda had to do this before earnings. The setup was perfect for them to scare off shareholders. They hit the sell button, and they were able to make money before earnings. And I can't blame you if you sold. It's your money, and you need to do what you need to do to protect yourself. I mean, we were down around 30% from the high of 630s down to the low of $5. I mean, 20% move today. But it's brutal. It's hard not to be emotional. But during business hours, I tried not to get emotional, and I took care of business today and made 2 more buys in the 570s and then in the 530s. Now, back to Fuzzy Panda's website. They say that the Microsoft and Google agreements are not true partnerships. Products have 0 reviews and minimal downloads. Faking ARR growth by acquiring failed startups. Ex-employees are bashing the company. Apparently, potential removal from the Russell 2000. I don't know where that came from. Self-dealing acquired a non-AI company owned by the CEO. Seychelles. So, this report is like 40 pages long, and it just keeps going and going and going. I will put the link in the description for you so you can see it. I'll put Dan Wagner's interview on YouTube with Schwab so you can see that if you want to. And look on here on their website. Here's a list of companies that they've shorted before and did hit pieces on. And if we look at some of the companies that they have shorted before, more recently, there's Red Cat, there's AppLovin, and you can look at the date they said they started shorting, the stock price at that point, the stock price now, and the growth, where the stock has gone since. Red Cat up 29%, 114 here, 25, 192 days since the report. So, these guys just do hit jobs to make money, quick money, and it should be illegal. I can't believe it's not illegal. I can't. Well, they are being sued by several different companies. They have done this before. They've done it to Stride stock, which I think is now up to 230%. There's Red Cat, of course. They did this to Hydrograph, that's now up 40%. Panda does have previous lawsuits pending. It's not the first time that they intentionally lied to get their short positions profitable. What they do should be criminal. And look at here in the fine print on their website. Let me go down. This is like a 50-page report, and then they got 3-4 pages of terms and conditions. And look at this part. However, Fuzzy Panda cannot be certain that the information it has relied upon in this report is accurate. Is that all you need to see to tell you like this company is a joke? The information and opinions on this report are therefore presented as is, without warranty of any kind, without express or implied. This is unbelievable. What this company is a disaster. They need to be taken to court. Now, Dan Wagner and the Rezolve team is on crisis management mode, and Rezolve categorically rejects this misleading and inaccurate allegations contained in the report. The publication selectively misrepresents facts, recycles outdated information, disregards our audited financials, SEC filings, and the reality of our operations. A report driven by self-interest, not truth. So Rezolve had a strong response today. Fuzzy Panda's report is a self-serving attempt to inject misinformation into the market. It is designed to spook genuine investors into selling so that short sellers can cover their positions and profit from aggravated rumors and interferences. We will not allow such tactics to distort the reality of our business. Our fundamentals are strong. Our partnerships with Microsoft, Google, and Tether are real. And we remain focused on executing our growth strategy and creating long-term value for our shareholders. So Rezolve responded strongly, and Dan went on Schwab, and he responded strongly there. I'll put the links in the description. Also, don't forget, the recent 5.3 filing has been out. There is no dilution in the recent 5.3 filings. So go ahead and take a look at that if you get the chance. They highlight again their strategic partnership with Microsoft and Google driving enterprise adoption. They indicate this goes far beyond a marketplace listing. I think the CEO saw Jim Cramer's video on Mad Money, where Cramer made light of this partnership, saying they're just an app on their app store. So I'm glad that they addressed this. Cramer was also talking about dilution, and the 5.3 confirms no dilution. This is great news. The easiest way for big money to get cheaper shares is to scare retail into selling. 40% retail ownership is what makes this stock very volatile, considering a tightly held float. The best thing I can do is ignore the price action and I just got to hold. I just got to buy on the dips and hold. This price action has it's kind of solidified my theory that we are on to a winner, boys and girls. I'm not going to let temporary pain get to me, but you got to be careful with your money on this stock. I hope to see you on the other side after earnings. We'll see what happens. Good luck. Bye.